Am I live? Is it Memorex? What's up, everybody? Hey, time for another episode of Mark's Comic Hall, y'all. I'm going to call this my more definitive catch-up episode since I've been gone for a while. And I'm doing this as a live stream for a couple of reasons. One, because I think it's probably going to be a little longer than like one of my normal videos. And two, because the whole spring forward thing, we lost an hour. I'm totally screwed up. I'm in the process of moving to a different apartment. And so the fact that we lost an hour, now my sleep schedule is completely out of whack. I would never be up this early on a Sunday, ever. But hey, I'm still awake. I actually was just watching, I don't know if you guys have seen Overlord. Awesome movie. Very, very cool. Zombie type stuff in World War II. Produced by J.J. Abrams. Pretty cool flick. So, and listen, I got you guys I'm on the bed here because it's the only way I can kind of lay out the books so that I can show them to you. So yeah, that's why if you see this thing kind of rocking, if you see it rocking, don't come a knocking. Anyway, so for those of you that maybe missed my most recent video where I posted about some of the Star Wars autograph blind boxes that I got, that's my first video since April of last year. And I just want to say that I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that I've, hey, I got some people in the chat room. That's so awesome. I got All About Comics and Sean Hogan. What's up, guys? I thought I'd be the only person up this crazy hour. Anyway, I apologize for the fact that I've been gone since April of last year. The reasons why, I don't know. Life. I had a couple of conventions that I had to run. I had to do a lot of traveling. Had some family issues that I was dealing with. It was just one thing after another, and I just kept telling myself, I was like, I want to get back to doing more haul videos. I want to do more haul videos. And I just never could seem to find time to make that happen. So anyway, I hope that I am now back. And so hopefully you'll see more of me. But hey, this is a whole lot of talking and not a lot of showing. There's a lot of tell without the show. So there is something I want to show you guys. And I'm not entirely sure I know how to do this. I'm trying to see, how do I show a photo? See, I'm still learning how to live stream, so I'm not 100% sure how to do this stuff. Isn't there a way that I can put up a photo, or I could, like, if I have a photo, I can screen share it with you guys? How do I do that? Does anybody know? Crap. Anyway. All right. Well, listen, here's the deal. So I got to do something really, really cool recently, and I kind of kept this quiet because I didn't want to jinx it. But there's a thing that goes on in Columbus, Ohio once a year called the Arnold Sports Festival. And it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a themed sports festival for bodybuilders that's themed around Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I guess Arnold goes every now and then. I don't think he goes every year, but he does go from time to time. And so I got invited to go to the Arnold Sports Festival and host a Q&A with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that's not the coolest part. The coolest part is that on the panel with Arnold Schwarzenegger was Kai Green, who was like one of the top bodybuilders in the world. Like, I didn't know who he was. I met him at the show, got to know him a little bit. This guy had like huge lines of people waiting to meet him. He's very, very popular. But also Doug Mankey, who is the current artist of Detective Comics. A lot of people don't know this, but Doug is like a professional power lifter. He's like one of the top power lifters in the world. And so Doug was there, and we did a panel with Doug, Kai Green, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then I'm sitting there hosting it. And we talked about Conan the Barbarian. We talked about Frank Frazetta. It was so awesome hearing Arnold Schwarzenegger talk about Frank Frazetta. And then we just talked about like comic books, Comic-Con, and kind of how the bodybuilding sports festival aspect, like sort of in a weird way, kind of crosses over into that same kind of sensibility of like Comic-Con. So hopefully this won't be the last time I do something with that. But let me see. Hang on one second. I got something here. I want to show you guys. A little takeaway. This used to hang in my bedroom. Ever so appropriate now that I'm in the bedroom. This is my original one sheet from Terminator 2. And now, let's see if I can get it on the camera there. Boom! Look at that. That's the real deal, baby. Very happy about that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cool thing because like I've had this post and it'll probably hang in my bedroom once again when I get it reframed. So, so I was very happy about that. Anyway, I wish I could figure out a way. I wish I knew how to share photos with you guys. I know there's a way to do it. I just can't. Oh my God. Is this it? No, that's not it. Okay. Well, I don't know how to do it, but I'll try to post a photo. Maybe I can just post a photo on YouTube. I can do that, right? Like there's a way you can just post a photo. Anyway, I have a great photo of me and Arnold and Kai Green and Doug Mankey on stage together with the giant Arnold Schwarzenegger statue behind us. It's really, really awesome. Guys, this was like a total bucket list, weird thing for me. I never in a million years thought I would get to do this. And it was, I mean, like, you have to understand, Arnold for me when I was a kid, like there was nothing cooler. Well, maybe Harrison Ford, but you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I got to be on stage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's crazy. I still can't believe it. All right. Books. Let's get to some books. This is a haul video. We got to talk about some books. So I'm going to go through real quickly some of the new this week books that I got. I'm sure a lot of you guys have these, but I'll just show them real quick. So got this new Barbie, #1. You know, not exactly for me, but Aletha Martinez did the artwork in it, and she's the one that did the book called Juke Joint. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the image book Juke Joint. Quite a change from Juke Joint to go to Barbie. But, you know, it's Barbie. It's a new take on Barbie, so I thought I would check it out. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of cool. And I'm hoping I'll have Aletha Martinez at a show at some point. This is the final, I think this is the final issue of Mage, The Hero Defined. There's 2 covers. That's one. Matt Wagner, goodness there. And this is the sort of negative art. So those are the two versions. Same book, just 2 different covers. Anyway, I think that's the final issue of Mage. So that's pretty cool. Quite a legacy he's had on that. This is Justice League #19, the Rob Liefeld cover. Rob's been doing some DC variants. Is that showing up well? Man, what's with the glare? Why am I getting so much glare? I don't even have that much light in here. Anyway, got a couple of those. Green Arrow #50, the extra size final issue with this beautiful Kevin Nolan cover. I was very, very happy with that. Man, I got to get used to it. I'm doing this on my computer. I'm not used to like how I show books. That's not gonna, okay. That's too glary. Man, oh man, am I loving this series. The Immortal Hulk. I hope you guys are picking this up. I think this is the best thing Marvel has put out in years. Wonderful Alex Ross covers on these things. And the first couple issues, I think issues like 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5 are like starting to go pretty hot now. So this is the Derek Chew variant of Harley Quinn #59. I'm sure you guys have seen that. I should probably show it like that. There we go. Just, you know, he's kicking butt on those covers. They're great. This sold out at my shop. I don't know if you guys picked it up. This is actually the second part of the Hunted storyline for Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's the second part. Greg Land cover with Black Cat. I was only able to get 1 copy of this, even though I got, I think, like 4 or 5 copies of the first part, mainly because it was Cully Hamner doing the cover, and I know Cully. So that's why I bought so many. This is Deathstroke number 41, the Dave Johnson variant, cover B. Just a really cool kind of Steranko-esque cover. I love that 1960s looking. And then, of course, I'm sure some of you guys picked this up, and if you didn't, you might want to think about it. This is the Detective Comics 80 Years of Batman hardcover. They did one of these for Action Comics last year when Action Comics was about to hit 1,000. And this is the Detective Comics version. It's got this nice spot gloss Jim Lee Batman on the front. I'll see if I can hold that up so you guys can see it. Those are all the little things that it features on the inside. Well, maybe I should hold that up longer. Anyway, it's got the first appearance of Batmite, Two-Face, Riddler, Batwoman. Am I leaving anybody out? Robin, Batgirl, and some never before published stuff. So if you're a Batman fan, you definitely want to pick that up. It's $30, you know, a little bit of a high price point. My store is really good to me. They give me a nice discount, so it doesn't hurt as bad, but you know, $30 is $30. So, but it's a nice book. It's a very, very nice book. Okay, so here's my haul. It's been a while since I've showed a haul, and this is a good one. This is from there's a store here in town called Awesome Comics. Been around for a really long time. It's one of the stores I first when I first got into collecting comics back in high school in the 90s. This was one of the stores that I used to go to on a regular basis, and JP from All About Comics, I guess this is in reference to me talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says, that's how I feel about Elvira. Dude, you ain't kidding. I've met Elvira a couple times, in costume even, and I lose all composure. You know, I was totally in love with her as a kid. So anyway, Awesome Comics, which is a great store here in Dallas. Back when I was in high school, one of the reasons I really got into that store was because they had bargain books. They had boxes and boxes and boxes of bargain books. I used to pull the coolest stuff out of their bargain boxes, like the Rocketeer and like all these really cool, you know, mid 80s, late 80s comic books, because this would have been like early 90s when I was pulling this stuff out. So you could get stuff like that for nothing. You know, you could get it for like a quarter. Anyway, I haven't been into Awesome Comics in quite a few years, and so I wanted to go back and when I got there, I saw that they had dollar comic books. They had boxes of dollar comics, and then so I started going through the dollar comics, and I picked out some really cool stuff. And so I'm going to show you the dollar books first, and then I'm going to follow it up with something that is even cooler. So these are all dollar comics from Awesome Comics. Some are better than others, but some I was just getting for filler or because I didn't have them already. This is Flash Annual number 7, Elseworlds Flash story. Just really, really cool. All of these, for the most part, are in pretty much mint condition. I was really impressed with the grades. Hang on, I gotta make some space here. Okay. I figure one of these days I'm going to meet Brendan Fraser. So The Mummy, The Rise and Fall of Zango's Axe. This is a photo cover with Brendan Fraser. I just figure if I ever meet him, that'll be a cool thing to get signed. Now that he's in Doom Patrol, I figure he'll start doing some shows. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Normal Man. This was a Jim Valentino comic book he put out. He actually put this out through Aardvark Publishing. Aardvark Publishing are the guys that did Cerebus. This is Normal Man number 1. Not the easiest book to find. Probably not worth anything. But you know, if you're a fan of Jim Valentino, he is one of the founding fathers of Image. I figure at some point I've had him at a show before. I'm sure I'll get him back again. And this is the Normal Man 3D annual with the gold stamped logo. Ooh, that was fancy back then. Anyway, kind of a rare book. This is a really great book. I used to have this when I was younger. This is it's called The One, and I just love this cover because it's meant to look kind of like a Tide box. Really cool, kind of like, you know, independent book. I don't know how to describe it. It's complicated, but it's a cool book. Green Lantern number 55. This combines one of my favorite things in comics. I need to rebag all of these, by the way. But this is the classic hero with the modern hero, and so this is Kyle Rayner, meaning Alan Scott, part of the 0 Hour crossover. Cool book. Green Arrow number 86, a Catwoman appearance. I believe this, if I remember correctly, when this originally came out, it sold out pretty quick because I don't think anybody knew there was going to be like a Catwoman appearance. I actually got 2 of those. This is Green Arrow number 90. This is the final part of the Crossroads storyline. Green Arrow was severely underordered at this time, so those are not easy to come by. I showed you Dave Johnson Deathstroke earlier. Did I say Deadpool when I showed that? I hope I didn't. Anyway, this is 100 Bullets, number 50 by Dave Johnson. Just a really cool cover. Jack of Fables number 1. This is the spinoff from Fables. By the way, if you guys hear something in the background, it's my ceiling fan. I've actually got my ceiling fan on. My apartment is on a switchover heat cool system. So right now it's on heat. And as of yesterday in Dallas, it got up into the 70s. So it's a little bit balmy here in the apartment. Plus I've been moving, so I've got the ceiling fan going. So I hope it's not making too much noise. Power Girl number 13. I believe this is a, oh God, I just blanked on his name. Josh Middleton. I think this is a Josh Middleton cover. I could be wrong about that. Is it? See, there's no signature, so it doesn't say, but it kind of looks like Josh Middleton. I'm thinking it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to look it up later. Anyway, nice looking book. I just love this cover. Brightest Day number 8, Dave Finch painted cover of Hawk Girl. I don't know if you can really see the detail in there, but just a beautiful Dave Finch cover. I always like that cover. This was a nice surprise. Batman 650 Jock cover. That's a beautiful book. JP says, can't wait until May. You mean can't wait until April? Because that's when my show is, April 6th and 7th. I hope you'll be there. May is some other show I have nothing to do with that I don't like to talk about for various reasons. Anyway, this is Ultimate Fallout. You guys probably know Ultimate Fallout number 4, first appearance of, oh God, man, I am really blanking here. Miles Morales. Wow, I need to get some sleep. Anyway, this is Ultimate Fallout number 3, which I believe the last page actually teases number 4. And I've been looking for a number 4. I haven't been able to find one. It's really bugging me. Actually, I take that back. I found one, but the guy was asking like $120 for it. And I was like, come on. I mean, I know it's a hot book, but that's a bit much. Anyway, Mythos number 1. This is Paulo Rivera. Just a really cool Marvel comic, Hulk. So, oh, JP, yes, you're right. Elvira is going to be at Texas Frightmare Weekend. I'm hoping I will be there too. And that show I'm happy to support. That is not the show that bothers me. So, yeah, I may see you there because she is cool. Unfortunately, I don't think she's going to be in costume, though, right? She's just going to be there as Cassandra Peterson. I think. I'm not sure. This is Captain Marvel number 15. One of my favorite Captain Marvel covers because she's looking all badass. And actually, I think they borrowed from this for the movie because there is a shot when she's flying through space, you know, kicking butt, and they really kind of borrowed from that cover. And by the way, this cover is by Joe Quinones, who you can meet at Dallas Comic Show on April 6th and 7th. His first time in Dallas. Joe Quinones also worked on Howard the Duck with Chip Zdarsky, did several issues of Captain Marvel, and is getting ready to do a brand new version of Dial H for Hero for DC Comics that comes out the week before the show. So the timing is perfect. You'll be able to buy that book off the shelf and get Joe Quinones to sign it at Dallas Comic Show. For more information on that, you can go to DallasComicShow.com. Sorry, shameless plug. Avengers number 368. This was just from an era when Avengers was really low ordered, so these were kind of hard to come by. New Avengers number 30. The Doctor Strange murder cover. Is this the second print? No, it's a first print. I guess that was the cover. It looks like a second print cover, doesn't it? It looks like it would be a second print cover, but I think it's a first print. And this was really hot for a while when it first came out. This is New Avengers number 31, where they reveal that Elektra, spoiler alert, if you haven't read it, cover your ears for the next 10 seconds, but Elektra was a Skrull. And it was like a huge deal when they revealed that. Anyway, got 2 of those. Actually, I apologize. I got 3 of those. Anyway, yeah, for $1, you know, can't beat it. That book was really hot when it first came out. I know it's since cooled off. So, oh, cool. Yeah, Texas Frightmare. You'll be there with Hazel Dan. Awesome. Yeah, we'll have to hang out. It'll be a fun show. New Avengers number 32. Just another part of that storyline. Great cover. Linnell Francis Yu. Got 2 of those for some reason. One of my favorite Legion covers, Legion 94, Lobo meets the Man of Steel. Can only imagine how that story goes, right? I got a couple of those. I don't know why they had multiples, but anyway, I love that cover. Superman, the Man of Steel, number 37. This is a really cool issue where Superman interacts with basically all the different Batmans that have ever existed in the DC universe. This would be a great issue for them to put in that detective hardcover I showed you. But it's just a cool book. I mean, it even has like the Frank Miller Batman in there. He's like, where is he at? I think he's right there. But in the book, he looks just like from Dark Knight Returns. So that's a cool book. This is Superman, Man of Steel, number 25, Return of the Original Superman. I know everybody shows this off, but I can't get enough of this book. I always buy them when I see them. And in this case, I bought 4 copies. It's a good book to have. Not really worth much, but it's a good book to have. Suicide Squad, number 25, Will Spertasio art. Nice little Harley Quinn cover there. And then I hope you guys know about this book. This is Superman number 16. This is from when they relaunched it with John Byrne. But the significance of this book, some people don't realize. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the cover that has Supergirl in the foreground. Like you can see her legs and you see Superman through her legs. And everybody calls it the Return of Supergirl issue. This is actually the first appearance of Supergirl in the post-crisis DC universe. This issue is the first appearance. And they call it a cameo for some reason in the guide, but she's on like multiple pages. So this is a good book to have, Superman number 16, if you see him. It's one of those books that you can find in like the bargain boxes, but it's a really good book to have. And then my last dollar book is Action Comics number 900 with a beautiful Dave Finch painted cover. Another great Dave Finch painted cover. Love that cover. Just a really nice book. And really, like, this is like a thick $5.99 book. It's got a lot of really cool artists and stuff in it. So those are all the dollar books. So I go through the boxes of all the dollar comics and bought all those and was very, very happy with what I got. And then as I'm going through all that, this guy I know who was there in the store, he says to me, he goes, "Have you already gone through the 50-cent boxes?" And I'm like, "What 50-cent boxes?" And I turn around and on like the bottom row underneath all the back issues, like all along the bottom row is 50-cent boxes. And I'm like, oh my God, I just finished going through the dollar boxes and I had spent like something like 2 hours doing that. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll check out the 50-cent boxes. And boy, am I glad I did, because I dare say the stuff I pulled out of the 50-cent boxes is even better than what I pulled out of the dollar boxes. Kind of crazy how that works, right? So with Battle Angel Alita currently in theaters, this is Battle Angel Alita, or I guess it's in the movie's called Alita, Battle Angel. This is Battle Angel Alita Last Order #1. Just a nice looking book. Thought I would pick that up, especially with the movie out. I used to have a bunch of these Battle Angel comics. I have since let them all go. I kind of wish I had held on to them. This is, for those of you that are familiar with Tim Vigil, who did Faust. This is an earlier book of his. This is called Zero Tolerance. Just kind of a cool early Tim Vigil comic. Has a very sort of American flag look to it, if you guys are familiar with Howard Chaykin's American flag. Anyway, it's a rare book. I got a couple of them. It's a book you don't see very often. And that, I believe that's pre-Faust. I think that was before he did Faust. Strangers in Paradise #12. This is with the gold foil logo. Nice looking book. I don't know what this is. It just looked ridiculous, and I thought, I just thought I'd pick it up. It's published by Eternity, who also did Lady Death and Evil Ernie and all that. It's called Triple Action, Eternity Triple Action, and it's like a manga, Amazon women manga. It just looks ridiculous, and I just thought, for 50 cents, I gotta see what's on the inside of that book. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. We'll see. The Shadow this is #1 of 4 of the miniseries. Shadow and the Coils of the Leviathan. I love Mike Kaluta artwork, so it's beautiful Mike Kaluta art. There. Hey, Mr. Rigor Mortis 86, what is up? Man, it's like all you cool guys in here, man. That's awesome. I can't believe you guys are up. I figured I'd be the only person up this hour on a Sunday, but I guess not. Very cool to have you guys here. Yeah, I'm back in a way. So doing a haul video, trying to catch up. And I figured I'd do it as a live stream, because every time I film it on my phone, my damn phone runs out of space. So I just figured I'd do it as a live stream, try it out, see how that works. This is I'm going to butcher this. Sinryaku. Sinryaku. I think I actually got that right. Sinryaku. Little Billy Tucci. She action. Early she. I like Billy Tucci. It's a nice guy. Leave It to Chance #1. That's a great book. Paul Smith artwork. If you guys are familiar with Paul Smith from his X-Men work. Tribe #1. I just buy these whenever I can find them, because I see Larry Stroman like once a year, so I can always get him to sign it. And got a couple of those. It's a cool book. It came out around the time when all those Image books were coming out, and they were very overprinted, but it's still a nice, kind of a cool book. Speaking of Image books and overprinted, this is Mike Grell's Shaman's Tears #1. Also kind of a cool book. I'm finding that these are now becoming harder to find in good condition. Like, you can find them in bargain boxes, but the spines, and because of the fact that the covers are black and they're on a thick stock, a lot of them have dings on the spine. So finding them in really good shape is becoming harder and harder. This is just a cool looking book. Silverback #1. It's a Kamiko book. I don't know anything about it. I just thought it was a cool looking cover, so I picked it up. Silverback #1. If any of you guys know me or are friends with me on Facebook, you might know that I had some water damage on some of my comics, and I lost a lot of really good stuff. And one of the things I lost absolutely broke my heart. I lost my entire collection of Nexus, all my Steve Rude Nexus comics. So slowly but surely, I've been getting those back. And this is one of my favorites for a couple of reasons. One, because this actually isn't Steve Rude, but it is Nexus. But this is an Adam Hughes cover. A lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people don't know to look for Adam Hughes doing dudes on the cover. Most people are looking for the girl covers, so people overlook that. But yeah, I had a complete run of Nexus. I had every single issue that had ever come out, every side issue, every spin-off, everything. And because my neighbor back there had a water leak, I lost all of them. Every single issue. So anyway, but you know what? It's kind of fun trying to track them down again. That's the right spin to put on it, right? Okay, so Noble Causes number 39. I just picked this up because I like kind of this throwback to like the romance comic cover. It's kind of fun. I picked this up because Brandon Peterson is going to be at my show April 6th and 7th. This is an early Brandon Peterson book. This is when he started working for Top Cow. It's called Misery. And I know the cover isn't much to look at, but the art on the inside is really, really good. So happy to get that. 52 week 7. This is the first appearance of, is it Cassandra Cain? No, Katie Cain? Oh, God. Well, Batwoman. The woman that becomes Batwoman. Is it Cassandra Cain? Or is that Batgirl? I can never keep those two straight. Anyway, this is her first appearance, so I'm happy to get that. Always a good book to have. The Deluge, Atlantis Chronicles number 1. This is another series that I had when I was younger, and this is Peter David and Esteban Maroto. Just a really nice looking DC book. Yeah, Mr. Rigor Mortis. Yeah, it sucked. I was really bummed out when it happened. I mean, I guess in a way, if you're going to lose books, Nexus comics are not terribly expensive, so at least it was something that I could replace without spending a ton of money. Artemis Requiem number 1. If I ever meet Robin Wright, maybe I'll get her to sign that since she plays Artemis in Wonder Woman. Starman number 34, just a Batman appearance in the book. I pick up a lot of these Starmans because that was a very, very low printed DC title. Blackball Comics number 1, just a fun Simon Bisley screwball comic there. Lucifer number 50, beautiful cover. DC Vertigo when it was really, really good. Speaking of DC Vertigo, Kid Eternity, number 1. I love that cover. Doom Patrol number 64. These great Brian Boland covers. They're just crazy. Look at this. Is anybody watching Doom Patrol, by the way? I saw the first episode. It was really good. Doom Patrol number 75, another awesome Brian Boland cover. Just craziness. Beautiful. Time Masters number 1 of 8. It's a miniseries. Art T. Bear artwork. Early Art T. Bear artwork. I know some of these are kind of boring. I'm getting to some cool stuff, so bear with me. This is Blood and Shadows, Joe Lansdale book. Mark Nelson, who was at my show last year, he did the artwork. Mark Nelson's the guy that did the original Dark Horse Aliens comic books. Very, very talented, great artist. This is this is Down. It's written by Warren Ellis and illustrated by Cully Hamner and features a cover by Tony Harris. This is down number 3. I just think it's a cool looking book. Great cover. This is the Elementals number, oh God, my eyes are failing me. Number 25, I believe. The Death of the Elementals. For those of you that are familiar with Bill Willingham, who did Fables, this was the book he became known well for before that. And this is Kelly Jones, early Kelly Jones artwork. Kind of cool. You can sort of see the Batman style in there, or what it was morphing into. Dead Face, Earth, Water, Air, Fire, 1 of 4. It's another cool Dark Horse, early Dark Horse comic. Was that Eddie Campbell? I think. Yeah, Eddie Campbell. I picked this up. You would think I have this. There's a funny story behind this. This is a Dallas Comic Con program book from 2011. This is Lawrence Reynolds did the artwork for this. We had Leonard Nimoy at the show. This was our first Dallas Comic Con that we had at the Irving Convention Center. And we did a couple different program books. We did one that had what we did. We thought we were being clever. We had one that we gave out on Saturday, and then we had a different one that we gave out on Sunday, and then we had a third one that was a VIP cover. And the VIP cover was a John Romita Jr. Fantastic Four like sketch art cover. And then this was the Lawrence Reynolds cover, and then we had a blank cover that we did as well. So we had 3 different versions. I think it was 3 different versions. Well, anyway, this was the first one to go out, and we very stupidly put them out to where anybody could just grab them. And they were gone within like an hour. And we realized, oh my God, we didn't save any of those. Like, we don't have any. We don't have any, like, you know, file copies or like personal copies or anything. We just didn't think to save them. So I don't even have a copy of this. Like, I put this program book together and I ran that show, and I don't have a copy of this program book. So I was happy to get that for 50 cents. Not in the best shape, but still. I know that's a long journey to get to the end of that story. So yeah, Sean Hogan, it's pretty cool. I liked it. I'm hoping it maintains that quality. This is Neil Adams when he was doing his continuity comics, Armor #1. Just love that cover. Great classic Neil Adams cover. Neil Adams now charges $50 to sign comics. So keep that in mind if you're going to meet him at a show. It's $50 a book. I don't know if there's any CGC fees, but yeah. You know, I think a lot of these guys are going up now. I'm seeing a lot of prices going up. So be prepared. Love Me Tenderloin. This is a Cal McDonald mystery by Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Steve has told me this book is kind of rare. Like, it's hard to come by for people that are completist of that. Speaking of Steve Niles, this is Steve Niles and Bernie Wrightson, City of Others #1. I have some of these already, but I didn't mind getting more. And then this is Thomas Jane's comic book, Bad Planet. This is Dave Stevens cover to #6. And this is the final Dave Stevens cover produced before his passing. So just a beautiful cover. Really, really nice. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these books, but these books are really cool. There's great artwork in them, great covers, and it's a cool book. So, Bad Planet, pick it up. By the way, Bad Planet's first appearance anywhere was in a Dallas Comic-Con program book. I made that happen. I think I still have some copies of that somewhere. This is Tempest Fugitive by Ken Stacy, just a really cool deluxe format DC book. As you can see, it's a thicker book. Getting close to the end, folks. Bear with me. Wetworks #1. This is from the second Wetworks series that they did, but it is Will Spertasio artwork. Man, I've been going for 40 minutes. Good God. Speaking of Adam Hughes, Hammer of the Gods. This is issue #3. Just a fun Adam Hughes cover. I think this one is somewhat desirable, if I'm not mistaken. I think people are looking for that one. I mentioned Tony Harris earlier. This is where you get into like the really cool stuff. Like this is these last few. In fact, I'm going to save that one. I'll do this one first. This is Dark Horse Presents number 67. It's a deluxe format. It's got Predator, but they kind of did an homage to that classic Flash Silver Age cover. Dark Horse Presents 67, and it is a thicker deluxe bound book. These are kind of hard to come by. You know, for 50 cents, you can't beat it. I mentioned Tony Harris earlier, and this was one that when I saw it, I was kind of like, wow, 50 cents for this? That's crazy. This is War Heroes, written by Mark Millar and illustrated by Tony Harris. #1, but it's signed. And it's signed not only by Tony Harris, it's signed by Mark Millar. And as you guys probably know, Mark Millar, he ain't coming to any American shows because he's too busy counting his money over in the UK now that he's getting all of his comic books made into movies and TV series. So that's kind of cool. And it occurs to me, I don't think I have any signed Mark Millar books, so that may be the only one I have in my collection now. And last but not least, this is the one that I was just so happy to find. And it's one of those books that hardly anyone knows about it. If you look on eBay, they sell for, I think, around 60 to 80 bucks, but they're very hard to find, and they're especially hard to find in good condition. I'm going to show it to you, see if anybody in the chat knows what it is. This is The Agents by Ben Dunn, #6. Anybody know? Anybody know what this is? Nope. Any guesses? You're not going to believe it when I tell you. This is the first appearance of The Walking Dead. Image Comics around this time would do little previews in their books. Like sometimes I think 6-page previews or something. And I believe this is a 6-page preview of The Walking Dead. And nobody, like when The Walking Dead started picking up and becoming really, really hot, nobody knew about this. Like nobody was keeping track of it. And this is a book that you would find in like quarter boxes, 50-cent boxes, because this was a series that kind of came and went, wasn't very popular. No offense to Ben. I mean, Ben is a friend of mine. I love the guy, but this series never really caught on. So this is like an $80 book. If you know what it is. And I was very, very happy to get that because I haven't seen a copy of it anywhere. It's a very hard book to find. So all those books that I just showed you of the second batch were all 50 cents a piece. I think with everything included, like the dollar books, the 50-cent books, and then I bought some books off the shelf. Some of their newer books, and they actually cut me a nice discount just because they knew me. And I think I got out of there for like 70 bucks or like a little over 70 bucks. So this was a hell of a haul. This was a great haul. I was very, very happy with that. So thank you guys. Thank you for the congratulations, Sean, Mr. Remorse. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was very pleased with those. So I guess that's all I got. I don't think I have anything else that's worth showing off right now. Yeah, I mean, I picked up a couple of these Rob Liefeld variants for, this was Domino, just a cool Rob Liefeld variant. Deadpool #1, Rob Liefeld variant, and Champions #26 with X-Men. Gotta say, man, Rob has been cranking out these variant covers. I mean, like, he is really knocking out a bunch of these variant covers. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got. I guess I'm gonna wrap this up. But hey, we're going into 45 minutes on a live stream here, and it's cool to see you guys in the chat. All About Comics, JP, good to see you, man. Mr. Rigor Mortis 86, very good to see you, my man. It's been way too long. And Sean Hogan, thanks for jumping in here. I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm honored that you guys would be here with me this early Sunday morning. So again, I think I mentioned it at the top of the show, but if you haven't seen it, check this baby out. Overlord, cool flick. If you're into like World War II or zombie movies or both, it's a cool flick. There's some really fun stuff going on there. So yeah, Dallas Comic Show, April 6th and 7th. You can go to dallascomicshow.com and we'll have information there about. I see this would have been a perfect time for me to hold up a flyer, and I don't have a flyer there in the car. So I failed at marketing. Anyway, DallasComicShow.com. We've got Cullen Bunn is making his first Dallas appearance with us. I think his first Texas appearance. And like I said, Joe Quinones, earlier I mentioned him. Dan Brereton celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Nocturnals. Joseph Michael Linsner is going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of Dawn. And we've also got Adam Warren for all you Dirty Pair fans. And Brandon Peterson, who's working on Superman right now. And Joe Linsner's wife, Christina Deek Linsner, who is writing Vampirella Roses for the Dead. Who am I leaving out? Bill Williams and Matthew Weldon, who do Punchline for Antarctic. I know we got some more people. There's more people coming. We've also, for those of you that are X-Men animated series fans, Cal Dodd, who's the voice of Wolverine, is going to be there. That's very cool. If you're a Twin Peaks fan, we've got 4 cast members, including Cheryl Lee, who plays Laura Palmer. So that's pretty cool. So we got some really fun stuff going on at Dallas Comic Show, April 6th and 7th. I hope you guys can come out. For those of you that are local, or if you can make the trip, please come by and say hi. And then also, I just want to tell you guys, Captain Marvel opened up this weekend, and I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see it, but I really enjoyed Captain Marvel a lot. I actually thought it was a lot of fun. There's been a really weird, hate campaign going on against Captain Marvel. Like, a lot of people are trying to tear it down and, try to convince others not to go see it. And a lot of it is based on some comments that Brie Larson made that were taken way out of context. And so I hope you guys don't fall for that. I hope you guys will give it a chance and check it out. It's actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And if you're looking forward to Avengers Endgame, it does very much tie into that. There's 2 different credit scenes, so be sure to stick around through the credits. And there's a really nice tribute to Stan Lee, which I was very, very happy to see. And I guess I should mention that too. Between my last video, which was April of last year, and now we lost Stan Lee. And I remember thinking to myself, I wanted to make a video about it because I was very lucky. I got to spend a lot of time with Stan. I got to host several Q&As with Stan. I think something like maybe 10 or 12 Q&As over the course of time. That starting back in the mid 90s up until the last year or so. And I got a chance to spend some time with him. A funny story, I took Stan Lee to his first Hooters. He was doing a show in Mesquite, Texas back in 1997. And I was basically working with him the entire time. And this is back when Stan Lee would go to a show and he didn't have an entourage. He would just show up. And, somebody would grab him and be his handler for the day. And that was me. I got to be his handler for the day. And I got to, sit next to him while he signed books. I hosted my first Q&A with him in 1997. There was a ton of people in the audience that had video cameras. I never once thought to ask somebody to get a copy of the tape. I'm really kicking myself about that now. Although, I don't know, it's probably pretty amateurish since it was my first one. But it was a really cool moment. And when we broke for lunch, and I asked Stan, I said, where do you want to go? And he said, well, what's around here? And we were kind of in like a restaurant row area. So I said to Stan, I said, well, you know, there's like a Chili's, there's a Bennigan's, there's a, you know, Olive Garden, there's this, there's that, there's a Hooters. And Stan goes, what's Hooters? And, you know, this is back before Hooters was super popular as it is now. And so my answer was, Hooters is a place where you can go and get really mediocre food served to you by really hot women in really skimpy outfits. And Stan's response was, that sounds great. Let's go there. So we ended up going to Hooters in Mesquite, Texas, and it was great. It was so fun. Stan sat there and regaled us with stories of the classic days of Marvel. The funniest thing about that experience, I'm rambling here, but I'll finish the story at least before I shut this down. The funniest thing about that experience was our waitress didn't know who he was, didn't know anything about comic books. And she was asking me at one point, I got up to go to the bathroom and she stopped me on the way back and she goes, that guy that's with you, is he somebody? And I was like, yeah, that guy created, I started rattling off all these comic book names and she didn't know who anybody was. Like I was like, Spider-Man? She goes, no. I'm like, the Hulk? No. You know, X-Men? No. Fantastic Four? No. Finally, I said, X-Men. And she goes, is that the one with the guy with the claws? And I'm like, yeah, Wolverine. And she goes, yeah, I think my little nephew likes that. And I'm like, okay, well, that guy that is sitting with me at the table, that guy is responsible for helping bring all those characters to the forefront. You know, he created a bunch of characters. He's very well known within the comic book industry. Man, she did not care. She could not possibly care less. But at some point, she must have told the other waitresses, because one by one, all the waitresses started coming up to the table and asking Stan, can I shake your hand? And Stan was immediately like, oh, sure, give me a hug. And he would hug them. And like every single waitress came over to say hi to Stan. And at the end of it all, we ended up taking a big group photo with Stan in the middle and all the Hooters girls. And I guess probably somewhere in the Mesquite Hooters, there is still a photo hanging on the wall of all of us together with Stan. And it was just such a fun memory. And that was one of my earliest memories of Stan. I actually met him before that, but that was the first time I really got to like hang out with him. And he was just such a cool guy. You know, I mean, sometimes people give Stan a hard time, or they say things like, oh, Stan didn't give credit where credit is due. I can tell you that out of the 10 to 12 Q&As that I hosted with Stan, going back to 1997, and I've seen interviews around that time as well, Stan was always very quick to give credit to Ditko, Kirby, all the other people that worked on those books. He never once tried to act like it was all him. I think that there was a lot of people that made claims or that just referenced Stan and said, oh yeah, he's the creator of Spider-Man. And, you know, Stan probably, because he knew if he stopped and told them, well, there was another guy named Steve Ditko and he did this and he did that, these people aren't going to know what he's talking about. So he just kind of went with it and was like, yeah, okay, I'm the creator of Spider-Man. You know, whatever, if that's how you want to refer to me. But I don't feel like Stan ever tried to steal credit from anybody. And I really wish that people didn't feel that way about him, because the Stan Lee that I got a chance to know was a very nice and very generous and very surprisingly humble guy. I mean, he could be a great showman. You know, he got on a microphone, got up in front of a crowd. He knew how to work a crowd. You know, that was his true talent. I mean, he was an incredible, you know, you can say all the things you want about how he was a great writer, you know, a great creator and whatnot, but his true talent was being able to engage the fans. And when you look back on those early days of Marvel and you see like Stan's soapbox and all the things that he did, you know, he really was an incredible guy, you know. And I can honestly say that my memories of him are all very, very good. And it really sucks to think about him in the past tense, you know. So I'm glad I got a chance to spend some time with him. I hope some of you guys got a chance to meet him. And all I can tell you is that he was everything you wanted him to be. If you ever got a chance to really spend any time with him in person, he was everything you wanted him to be. So, all right, so that's it. I'm done. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I probably need to take a drink of water. In fact, I'm going to do that now while I'm thinking about it. But I hope this has been kind of a fun little catch up for you guys. And I hope that I'll be able to come back and do more of these hauls and whatnot. Once I get moved into my new place, which I was thinking was going to be next week, it's probably going to be the end of the month now. But once I get moved into the new place, I'll have a lot more time to do more haul videos and you know, some more things. And I want to do some of these live streams with other people too. Like JP, I know you've got your show. You know, I'd love to go on some of these other shows whenever I have time to do it. So hopefully we can make that happen as well. So anyway, hey, thanks guys. Thanks for you guys in the chat. Thanks for joining. And I appreciate you being here. And hopefully I will see you guys sooner than later. And with that, I will sign off. This has been Mark's Comic Hall, y'all. Once again, if you guys are interested, Dallas Comic Show, April 6th and 7th. You can go to dallascomicshow.com for more information about that. And you can always find me at bigfanboy.com. If you guys would like to read my review of Captain Marvel, I posted up a very thorough review of Captain Marvel. It's very thorough, but surprisingly, I stay away from any major spoilers. So, yeah. Check it out. Bigfanboy.com, dallascomicshow.com, Mark's Comic Hall, y'all. Out. See you, everybody. Take care.